Alright guys, Kenny Smith, Total Force Holding Incorporated. We're going to get back into foundation videos here. This time we're on video 3. We're going to start working on your hand strikes. Hand strikes involve both palm strikes and punches. And you get into some knife hands and a few other little goodies as well that we'll discuss later on in the video. So, at the beginning of video 2, when I was talking about how you determine which foot you want forward in your fighting posture, I said that I would discuss that then, but I thought better of it and figured I'd talk about that now. What hand you want in the rear depends on what school of thought you're taking. There is one school of thought, the traditional boxing side, that says you put your stronger hand in the rear, whatever hand you're more dominant with, both in a physical sense and a dexterity sense, so both strength and dexterity. By that standard, I would fight in the right-handed posture. The problem is, just because I write and shoot with my right hand doesn't mean I'm right-handed. Those are pretty much the only things I do right-handed. So I tend to fight in more of a left-handed posture. But having said that, my right side is physically stronger. All right? I don't know why, but it just is. It's not like I don't do the same exercises on both sides. So that's more the Jeet Kune Do side, where you want your stronger hand out in the front so you can get more power on target faster, make up for the lack of power on the other side with better body mechanics. Which side do you choose? That is entirely up to you. Now, in the firearms community, a lot of people want to keep their weapon side towards the rear to aid in weapon retention. That's totally fine. I've got no issue with that. I'm just throwing it out there. If you carry a weapon on that side, you may want to do that. Which means if you carry your weapon right-handed, like I do, and fight left-handed, like I do, you're going to have to pick or choose which one you want. My solution is to be adept at both. That way you don't have to worry about having to pick and choose which side you start your fight on. You can deal with the problem from either side. So again, because I am primarily a southpaw, when it comes to this, most of what you're going to see is going to come from a right side forward or right lead. That is up to you though. So which hand do you want to put in the front or the rear? Entirely up to you, depending on your mission at the time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and right off into hand strikes. Notice I've got the camera turned so we can see my nifty heavy bag right there. He's going to get beat up pretty good in this video. Not much, but he's going to get a little love. So, first strike we're going to start with is a lead-handed palm strike. Understand, any punch can be done probably safer with a palm. What is the cost of that? You lose a few inches from the base of your palm to the end of your fist. You're going to lose that in reach. Me, that's about 2 inches, 2.5, 3, somewhere there. Between 2 and 3 inches, depending on which direction I wanted to measure from. Yeah, probably about 2. So, I lose 2 inches of reach, which really, that is negligible. Because we're not talking about 2-inch longer arm, we're talking about just here. And I still have that reach if I need it. So it's not like it's going away. It's just, do I want to take the risk of breaking my hand or not? If I don't have a good clean shot at something that will be damaged easier than my hand will be, I'm more likely to use a palm. But that's just me. We're going to go ahead and kick off with palm strikes just because they're safer to practice. Now, understand, this is a pretty heavy bag. I'm wanting to say it's a 150-pound bag. This is not something you need to be hitting without hand wraps on and without good gloves. Why am I doing it? Because you might need to see how I'm hitting, and boxing gloves don't allow for that. And hand wraps don't allow for it as well as a bare hand. So, 3 things will be said immediately. 1, I am not going to hit this bag as hard as I can because I really don't feel like going to get my hand fixed tonight. 2, don't try this at home. You will hurt yourself. And 3, you just watch this. If you go home and try this at home, consider this my disclaimer. I told you specifically, don't hit a heavy bag with bare hands, so don't try to sue me. Now that we got all that mess took care of, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with that lead-handed palm strike. We're in our basic combat posture here, right? We've already talked about that. Elbows down, hands up, nice and relaxed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my back leg into it. I'm going to straighten that out, and I'm going to drive that palm right into Mr. Bad Guy here's face. I can do it vertical or horizontal. Doesn't matter to me. Lead palm. However you want to do it. Next one is the rear palm. Before I go further, When I throw that palm, notice my shoulder rolls up. Okay, it rolls up. I don't have anything here anymore because my hand's out here. So I roll my shoulder up in place of it. All right, to get that coverage again. I got coverage here. Still got it. Why? Because there's a trick called riding a punch. What riding a punch means is you basically cup it, which we'll get into later. Cup it, ride it back with the other hand. So basically I catch your punch on what would be my glove, or here, and ride back to fall. If I pass it, if I blocked it with this hand as you retract it, I just run it right back. Obviously that has less than desirable results unless you can put something in the way. So by rolling that shoulder up, that'll take some of the sting out of it. Now, we get into the rear-handed palm strike. The rear-handed palm strike operates very similar to a boxer's cross. We will be discussing that later. All right, what's going to happen? Again, I'm in that basic combat posture, nice and relaxed. I'm going to drop my body weight and sit down on it just a little bit. When I sit down on it, I drive through. Notice how it pushes my upper body forward. I can reach this far with my lead. I just quite out of reach with my rear. By driving my hip forward, I go all the way through it. Okay? Lead, rear. And notice again, I'm rolling that shoulder. Doesn't matter which one you use, vertical or horizontal on the palm, you're still looking to hit right in here. Ideal targets for palm strike. Coming down on the nose. There's a lot of people who said driving up on the nose can be fatal. I assume it could, but in numerous briefings with and discussion with students of mine that are doctors, it would be exceedingly difficult to pull off on someone that didn't have their head stabilized. So, yeah, it'll work, but yeah, not the best. We'll get into one targeting the chin coming up, and a later technique called a chin jab. We'll work on that directly. I'm going to stop this bag because it's annoying me. Good enough. Okay. Where else works? You come off to the side of the jaw, the side of the head. Anywhere a jab or a cross from a straight punch would work, will work with the palm. Now, I'm more partial to punches when I'm striking to the abdomen, just because the abdomen is softer. I don't care how ripped your six-pack is, it's softer than your skull. All right. So I kind of like punches there. It gives me a little bit better penetrating power to transmit the force further in. But for hard targets, I tend to prefer the palm. So palms, I would say, are head targets. Into the sternum works pretty well to get someone's attention. It usually gets their attention pretty quickly. The next one we're going to talk about, now that we're going to move past palm, are open hands. Open hand, knife hand strikes. First one we're going to talk about is an outside knife hand strike. Outside knife hand strike. I forgot one. We're going to go with an ear slap first. Ear slap. You can do it with either hand. I'm going to use my left hand just because my right hand's kind of obstructed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out almost like I'm throwing that palm, and I'm going to turn my hips over. Instead of just pushing forward, I'm going to go ahead and turn them over. Okay? I'm looking to slap that ear. Right? If you've ever been slapped in the ear, you know how annoying, uncomfortable, and downright painful it can be. All right? Can I get into other things too? Stepping off the line and slapping to the ear? Yes, absolutely. But from a basic perspective, that's just a quick distraction. Bow! I'm cupping my hand and slapping the ear. It's not a good time. Bow! I'm just slapping the ear. Bang! What might follow that? Closing that gap with a cross, maybe. Cup the ear, grab the head, both hands cup the ears, grab the head, come into a clench. Options abound. I'm just showing you the strike. Okay? Boom, just slap the ear. Very quick. Can be not fun to be on the receiving end of, for sure. So, what have we covered so far? Lead hand palm, rear hand palm, ear slap. Now we move on to outside knife hand strike. Outside knife hand strike works really well, or any knife hand strike for that matter, to the brachial plexus area. That's the side of the neck. You look at the V, where the jawbone meets, the mandible rather, meets the base of the skull up here. You get that V. One finger goes down on the spine, the other one follows the chin. Anything in that triangle is money. All right. I'm just going to reach out, here, boom. I'm striking with the side of my palm, not my fingers because those hurt. Here. Okay, take a wild guess what an inside knife hand strike is. Instead of palm down, a palm up. Going to the inside instead of going to the outside. So, obviously, my outside, my inside. Outside, inside. Outside, inside. These don't work as well to the body. They do work pretty well to the kidney. Other than that, I'm not a big fan. Now, outside coming under the floating rib into the liver works pretty well. What might that look like? Maybe I'll slip that punch here, come into the liver, follow with palm. We'll get into combinations in a later video. So you've got your lead palm, rear palm, ear slap, outside knife hand, inside knife hand. Next thing we're going to get started on is the jab, the boxer's jab. Very similar to a lead palm. The only difference is I'm closing my fist. When you make a proper fist, you take all four of your fingers here, fold them back inside each other. You give yourself your thumbs up right there. Y'all see that pretty well? Lay it down over the top. I'm striking with these two knuckles. Okay, there's your proper fist. If you want to get real good at making a proper fist, do push-ups on them. So, with that jab, as I extend out, I roll my shoulder, turn the fist over, boom. It's not a very powerful shot. It's a ranging shot and a distracting shot. The fact of it is, I know a jab doesn't have very much on it. But there are a lot of punches that look like a jab that do. Specifically, two in particular you're going to see very shortly, back fist and a straight lead. All right? They both look very similar to a jab at first. So you've got to honor that jab because you don't know if it's going to have a little stink on it. All right? Either way, you don't really want to get hit by it. Okay? A jab in the nose, even though it's not a very powerful shot, is still enough to break your nose and have you aspirating blood for the rest of your fight. So, flick it out there, boom, spray it right back. Out and back. Very fast punch. If I touch it with the jab, I can touch it with the cross that comes back later. Boom, there's my jab. You want to give it a little pivot, give it a little bit more power, that's fine too. Doesn't matter to me. You can turn into it a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to over-rotate because that turns it into a completely different punch. Next one I'm going to work on starts off very similar to jab. It's a back fist. Okay? Lead hand back fist. What we're going to do, we're going to start to reach out there. Alright? What does the back fist look like? Here's your jab. There's your back fist. At speed. Jab. There were two back fists in there. Jab, back fist. Jab, back fist. I'm striking with the back of that fist. I'm going more to the side. Jab, back fist. Okay? Jab, back fist. Okay? Just reach out there with it. Boom. Now, the next one, this one's sneaky. It's a straight lead. Very similar to the jab, but kind of imagine a jab and a cross having a drunken night at Lover's Lane, and 9 months later, the straight lead is what is the result. Okay? It's got the power of the cross with the speed of the jab. So, how do we get that? Okay? You remember on that, just a few minutes ago, we were discussing the rear hand palm strike. Sitting down on it, turning the hip in. We're going to do the same thing, so we're going to do it on the front leg, because this is done with the front hand. I'm not going to turn my fist over either. As I shoot straight into the face, I shift my body weight over. Now, why is my hand still up here? Because this punch is a fluid rhythm punch. That means it goes all the way through. There's no retraction. How do you retract it? Remember that back fist we talked about just a minute ago? This is where it comes in. Straight lead, back fist. Then you follow that with a cross. Straight lead, back fist. And look where we are. Boom. Here's how your straight lead works. As you push that arm out, I shift my front hip over. To follow it with the back fist. And then you see the cross starting. So, what if we went over? lead palm, rear palm, ear slap, outside knife hand, inside knife hand. We even touched on how to deliver that one low. Okay, pretty simple. Same thing with the outside knife hand, going low. Jab, back fist, and a straight lead. So now, we're going to get on to the cross. Actually, yep, we're going to go ahead and hit the cross, and then I'll probably do another video, a part 2 of this foundational video, with the rest of the hand strikes. So, we'll go ahead and hit the cross. We're in here nice and tight, right? As I draw that punch out, I sit down on it, just like that rear hand palm strike. Boom. Fist closed. Okay? So now you see your combination, jab, back fist, straight blast, back fist to cross. They all build on each other. And come think of it, we're going to keep going. This is just going to be a long-ass video. How many more we got? Oh, we're starting to get the fun stuff now. Let's see, we're on... I got a chin jab. We just finished strike number 9. And I have 23. So we got a little bit to go. Alright, with the chin jab, this is another type of palm strike. But it's a very close range palm strike, and it goes straight up. Alright, where would you use this? Weapon retention. Okay. In tight clinch fighting. Proactively with someone who you know is looking for a fight. Maybe you're a police officer and you realize this guy is armed. Maybe you see the bulge in his waistband and you're talking to him at this range here and you see him reach. Boom. Go ahead and put his legs up. Alright. What the chin jab is, it's a vertical palm strike targeted at the chin. As I step in and close that gap, I drop my body weight by bending my back knee. I'm almost in a lunge. I drive, my back foot comes all the way up the ground, boom, and use my body weight plus the extension of my arm into that chin. It's a one and done kind of shot in 2 ways. If you hit somebody with it right, a few things are going to happen. 1, they're probably going to get knocked out. 2, their teeth are probably going to break. 3, they'll probably bite off part of their tongue along the way. And 4, they'll definitely think about not getting stupid. 2, you are so overextended with this shot, you've got to really commit to it and be prepared in the event it doesn't work because you just really overextended yourself. Not a bad technique. It's just a specialized technique. You have to use it at the right time, the right place. Next one we're going to work on, after the chin jab, we start getting into hooks. Actually, no, we're going to go into hammer fist first. We're doing a vertical hammer fist. Okay? Off the lead hand is sneaky. Jab, back fist, lead. We already covered, which can be followed with the back fist. Vertical hammer fist is coming down like a hammer. Okay? Can you use it coming in here? Sure. Now you see why in my introduction video when I talked about using the knife, because I don't feel like cutting my heavy bag, I still have the scabbard on this sock piece. Okay? All these strikes, your back fist, your jab, going back to edge out, point forward edge. All these strikes transfer over to the knife. Now you start to see this. So with that vertical hammer fist, we got 2. Lead hand, and I just hit that damn D-ring. Coming down on it. Same thing with the rear, but it has to be a lot closer. Then we have a horizontal hammer fist. These go 2 ways. They go inside and outside. I can go to the inside, or I can go to the outside. Works very similar to a back fist. Inside, outside, vertical. Okay? Yep. Now we're going to deal with the lead hook. This is number 3 in boxing. Jab is number 1. The cross is number 2. The lead hook is number 3. Very close range punch. This is not something you're going to reach out there with. Alright? 1, you're in your basic combat posture, right? You're just, let's say you're going a hook to the head. Okay? You're going to lift your elbow Notice how I stay at 90 degrees. I just lift my elbow and turn on that front foot. Boom. There's my hook. Boom. I don't reach out here because look at the angle that puts my wrist at. That's how you get broke wrist. Here. And you can do it fist horizontal or fist vertical. I tend to like horizontal to the head, vertical to the body. But that's just me. You can do it either way. Next punch, take a wild guess. Rear hand hook works the same way. Lift the elbow. Here. Now, when I go to the body with the hook, I don't lift the elbow and then drop it down. No, I just drop the hand. Lift the elbow. Drop the hand. Drop the hand. Lift the elbow. Okay? Very short range punches. I'm only reaching out this far. Notice the angle I have to turn my wrist at to hit properly. How would you hit there? Hammer fists. That's what they're there for. Okay? So, we've got both our hooks. Now we got one more hook. It's called a shovel hook. A shovel hook is a nasty little shot. Works really well on the right side of the body to the liver, underneath the floating rib. And you can really ruin someone's floating ribs day, the day of both their floating ribs with some shovel hook. Okay? But before I do a shovel hook, even though that's the next punch I have specified, I think I need to deal with the uppercut. And the reason I say that is because a shovel hook is best described as a hook and an uppercut together. So with the uppercut, we're going to start with the lead hand. Because they both work the same way. It just depends on which, again, my arm doesn't go past 90 degrees, nor does my hand go above eye level. So you would think I'm just zinging. No, I'm not zinging at all. I drop my body weight just like I did on that chin jab. I drive home my legs. Same thing with the rear hand. Right? It's all from my hips. A shovel hook comes at a 45. Straight up, straight up, straight over, 45, 45, up, up, over, over. So you have lead hook, rear hook, lead shovel hook, rear shovel hook, lead uppercut, rear uppercut. Pretty simple concept, right? Two more other punches that we deal with that come from the boxing world are the overhand. Overhands to me are kind of specialist punches. There's two times I like an overhand. One, when someone's got a really good guard up and I need to go over it. And two, when I'm retreating. It starts like any other straight line punch. So, because I really like, notice I'm in opposite posture here, I really like to step back while I'm throwing that jab and then just arc the elbow over. Notice how it changes the angle of my hand. Okay, rear hand. When that elbow turns all the way over, it starts to drive it down. So what I would do is I would shoot in towards those hands and then drive over them. It's almost like reaching around. So you have your lead overhand, rear overhand. And notice how I slip both times. I'm trying to get around something. All right, slipping is head movement. We'll get into later. Lead overhand, rear overhand. So what you have here is your first 10 punches of boxing. Jab, cross, lead hook, rear hook, lead uppercut, rear uppercut, lead shovel hook, rear shovel hook. Overhand lead, overhand rear. So you got two straights, two hooks, two uppercuts, two shovel hooks, and two overhands. Next one. Okay, we got three more to go. Next one is spinning back fist. I like spinning back fist, but I don't like, if I'm facing you, I don't necessarily want to spin to hit you. I might use this when I'm talking to your buddy over here and you get stupid behind me. Okay? What I'm doing is I am stepping in the direction I'm throwing and uncorking that back fist. Okay? Alright? One more time. I'm stepping in the direction I'm throwing, and I'm corking that back twist. So on the heavy bag here, what it looks like, I'd be offset at an angle almost, or better yet, I'm talking to you, right over here, I'm talking to this guy. This guy comes up behind me, I don't like what he's saying. There it is. Very powerful shot, especially when applied into the jawline area. But it's not something I would do. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. And you can do it with a hammer fist as well. Whatever floats your boat, it's the same motion. Ah, the flicker. The next one we're going to worry about is the flicker. I call it a flicker because you're just flickering your hand out there. It's not a power shot, guys. This one is not meant to hurt anybody. What this one is meant to do is to enable you to better hurt them in a second. Okay? What I'm doing is I'm reaching out like I'm throwing a jab, but I'm flicking my fingers at their eyes. At their eyes. Not at their chin, not at their forehead, not at their nose, at their eyes. This causes eyes to close when you get close, and them to look back. And when they look up, they give me that chin. Here comes the palm. Okay? Flicker to palm. Whatever. You want to get that reaction. Alright? Just get their eyes to shut and them to look up for a second, then nail it. Eat it up. So there's your flicker. And I'm letting my wrist rotate through that. Okay? On the bag, it's not going to hurt it or me. I'm just reaching out and flicking. Now, obviously, if I hit an eyeball, it's not going to be pretty. But it's meant to be a distraction. The last one, this one you have to be really careful with. It's called Tiger Mouth. Tiger Mouth, there are a lot of martial arts organizations that talk like this. I do it more like this with the flat hand. What I'm doing is I'm stepping in and I'm catching the throat at the Adam's apple with this. Okay? Driving it through. Motion is just like a rear-handed palm or a cross. Stepping in, boom. That's obviously going to have some pretty nasty effects. So understand, all these strikes are just foundation. Okay, we're going to get into some combinations in a later video. I just want you to have some reference points so you can go back through. That way you know what I'm talking about. If I say you're going to step off to, you're going to do execute forward right footwork, circle in, circle in towards it, and shoot a shovel hook under their floating rib. As you step back, follow it with a rear hand palm, a lead hand ear slap, and then a chin jab. That way, now at least you have the basic translation so you understand what I'm saying. A lot of you may, and that's fine. And that's awesome. I love when people understand the martial arts world. But the fact is, not everybody does. So I'm trying to make it easy. That's why I'm doing this whole foundation series. This is Kenny Smith with Total Force Holdings. This video right here will be going live first week of February. So, and then obviously it'll be going live on YouTube the first week of March. So I hope you all enjoy it, and stay safe, stay frosty, stay dangerous, and stay in the fight.